Okay, good. Hello, everyone, and welcome to our first lecture for CBG 402. So, our topic for today is a review of CBG 304, a short review of CBG 304. And CBG 304 has been about the evidences, the mechanisms, and theories of evolution. Okay, what is evolution then? General evolution can briefly be described as um, changes that have occurred in biological organisms over time, over a period of time, adaptations that have occurred. So we have different theories and evidences that have been reviewed over the years, because of course the universe is how life came to be has always been an argument, has always been a discussion. Everybody wants to know how life came to be, how the solar system came to be, and all that. So the first theory we'll discuss today is the Big Bang theory. In Big Bang theory, it was believed that there's a small spherical structure that contains all of us, I guess. And then a Big Bang occurred, and everything was released, leading to the formation of the solar system and life as we see it. So after that, another theory came, which was the condensation theory. The condensation theory believed that all these particles, these hydrogen particles that were released, are condensed, and the temperatures lessened over time, which led to the formation of the solar system. And then after condensation theory, we have the theory of special creation. That's the belief in supreme being, that a supreme being exists that made the world, that made the universe. It's believed in Christianity that it took God 6 days to create the earth, and all another satellites, and after 6 days, on the 7th day, he rested. The other beliefs, like the Hindus believe in Lord Brahma, the Sikh believe that human beings came into being because of a single word by God, and human beings were made. So this is just to depict the God of creation. So we now have the steady state theory. In the steady state theory, we believe that the galaxies remain the same. As the universe expands, they remain the same. Then we now have the cosmozoic theory. In the cosmozoic theory, it is believed that meteorites dropped on Earth, and those meteorites contain life. So as they dropped on Earth, life came to be on Earth. So this theory is supported by the belief that there's been sightings of aliens and some drawings of unusual creatures that are believed to have come to the Earth to create life. Okay, then we now have the theory of spontaneous generation. In that theory, it's believed that the Earth just going to be spontaneously. There's no evolution. Everything just came to be as it is, and it is as it is now. So some scientists try to prove that theory wrong, which led to the Reddy's experiment and the Pasteur's experiment of biogenesis, which they believe that life begets life. Life cannot just come to be. So the Reddy's experiment he carried out on meat pieces. And he put those meat pieces in jars. He put the first experiment, he opened the jars, and after opening the jars, he opened the jars at first, then flies perched on it, maggots were formed, and life became, the maggots became flies over time across. Then we now have the gauze experiment. He covered the jar with gauze. The flies came to perch on it, but they couldn't get to the meat. And maggots were formed still. So life begets life. Then the last one, to prove that life cannot just be formed spontaneously, he covered it with parchment, such that flies were not even attracted to it. Flies did not get there, and no life was formed. So for Pasteur, his own experiment led to all the wine industries and milk industries we have now. So Pasteur tested he disproved the law of spontaneous generation by boiling broth and putting it in a jar with a curved funnel, a curved neck. So the broth remained free of organisms, but after removing the curved neck, over time, microorganisms began to grow in broth, showing that the microorganisms could not get into it. That was why the broth remained organism free. And this proves that without life, there cannot be life. So, and that is, those are examples of the theories that we have. Then we now have different evidences of evolution. Evidences to show that evolution actually occurred. We have paleontology. With paleontology, it was proven that paleontology is the study of the remains of organisms, their bones, their teeth. Over time, archaeologists and geologists dig out these remains and study them. And from these studies, we could see that these animals were remarkably different from animals that we have here, but there were still similarities showing that over time, life had evolved to what we have now. Then we have geographical distribution. With geographical distribution, we could see that animals are found in different locations. Some animals that are found in areas that are surrounded by maybe hills and mountains that they could not migrate. The study of these animals showed that the remains there. It was obvious. It was able to. Scientists were able to show that the animals evolved over time by studying the remains present there and the animals present as at then. Then we now have classification. Of course, it was imperative to classify animals and plants, and classification of these plants and animals led to the discovery that the similarities were so much, even though some animals were found in different geographical locations, the similarities were much, even within the plant and animal kingdom. So we now have, for evidence, of plant and animal breeding. For plant and animal breeding, human beings, for agricultural purposes, do selective breeding. They tend to focus on animals that give them what they want for agriculture, like the cows that produce more milk, or the fruits that produce more juice. And if humans can do that, well, obviously life, Earth on itself, science, life on its own, will be able to pick animals that would survive better in environments, just like we have the cactus present in the deserts because it can retain the little water it has, and so on. So comparative anatomy also shows similarities in organisms. Like we have the amphibians, the mammals, some reptiles are four-limbed, even though they are not in the same, they're not classified as the same group or family. They have some similarities to show that they probably evolved from each other. Then we have comparative embryology too, which shows that in the stage of embryogenesis, these offspring, when they are breaking down when they are differentiating, there's probably no difference between the process of embryogenesis in all animals. So that's all we have for the theories, mechanisms, and evolution. So for mechanisms, I would like you to study and discuss in the group, in the platform. We're going to discuss the mechanisms of evolution, how evolution has come to be, and I hope to see you at the next class. Thank you very much.